Now optics lesson 22. Refraction at spherical surface. Derivation of the formula mu2 by v minus mu1 by u is equal to mu2 minus mu1 over r. Xpy. If you look at the diagram, xpy is a convex surface. This side is medium 2 having refractive index mu2, and the front side is medium 1 having refractive index mu1. Now let xpy a spherical refracting surface. It is spherical. P is the pole of the surface, C is the center of curvature, because this is curved to this side, so center of curvature will be this side. OA is equal to an incident ray from the object O, which is refracted along AI, because CAN is the normal. This is the incident ray on this medium. So the angle between the normal on this medium and the ray on this side is the angle of incidence. Going from, let's say this is rarer, this is denser. Going from rarer to denser, it will bend towards the normal. The ray OA was supposed to travel like this. Going from rarer to denser, it has bent by this much. So on this side, from C to A is the part of the normal on this side, and this is the refracted ray. So the part of the ray on this side and the refracted ray, the angle between them is R. And I have taken a second ray OP traveling this way. This is the incident ray. At this point, this is also the normal, and I have explained you before for normal incidence. If the ray was coming normally, there was no refraction here. It was explained in previous lecture. So the ray OP traveling along this goes straight. So I have taken two rays from O. One is OA, one is OP. After refraction, they meet here. Therefore, I is the image of the point O. So I is the image of the point O. CAN normal to XPY. CAN normal to the surface at A. Now, now let so angle OAN, angle OAN is I, angle of incidence. Angle CAI is R, is angle of refraction. Let angle AOP is equal to alpha. Angle AIP is equal to beta. Angle ACP is equal to gamma. From P to O is the object distance, written as U. P to I, from here to here, that is from here to here, is image distance, written as V. Now from P to C is the radius of curvature of this convex surface XPY, radius of curvature. Now if aperture XPY, if it is small, aperture means opening, is small, then from A to P can be considered as a straight line. A to P, if the point A is not here, is here, then alpha will be like this. Means AP can be considered as a straight line if this aperture is small. Therefore tan alpha is equal to AP over OP. For small angles we know tan alpha is equal to alpha, because if alpha is small, that is nearly 0, tan 0 is equal to 0. So from this, tan alpha is nearly alpha, so alpha is equal to AP by OP. Similarly, tan beta will be equal to AP over PI. Tan beta is AP over PI. Since beta is also small, so tan beta can be written as beta is AP by PI. Similarly, tan gamma is equal to AP by PC. Tan gamma AP by PC. So for if gamma is small, tan gamma is AP by PC. We have explained in previous lectures that during refraction, mu sin theta is constant. Mu of the medium and sine of the angle of incidence is constant. So using this concept, mu sin theta is constant. For this medium, mu is mu1 and angle of incidence is I. So mu1 sin I is equal to, for this, refractive index mu2 and angle is R, is equal to mu2 sin R. So I take mu1 to this side, so mu2 by mu1. I bring sin R to this side, so is equal to sin I by sin R. Now, how I is equal to alpha plus gamma? Look at the triangle AOC. This is the exterior angle I. So therefore, according to geometry, I is equal to alpha plus gamma. Now, how R is equal to gamma minus beta? Now, R is here in this triangle AIC. These are the two interior angles. This is the exterior angle. So, gamma is equal to R plus beta. So, R is equal to gamma minus beta. So, R is equal to gamma minus beta. For small angles, sin theta is nearly theta, sin theta is nearly theta. We know for small angles, sin theta is nearly theta. So, for sin alpha plus gamma, I can write it as alpha plus gamma. For sin gamma minus beta, I can write it as gamma minus beta. Now, so mu2 by mu1 remains here. Now, alpha, the value of alpha, the value of gamma, the value of alpha is this, the value of gamma is equal to this, the value of gamma is equal to this, and the value of beta is equal to this, which I have just explained. Here, alpha, beta, and gamma. So now take AP common in the numerator, take AP common in the denominator, they cancel. So here I am left with 1 by OP plus 1 by PC. Here I am left with 1 by PC plus 1 by PI. So AP cancels. Now, so this is equal to this. Now mu2 by therefore mu2 by implies mu2 by PC minus mu2 by PI is equal to mu1 by OP plus mu1 by PC. This is by multiply this to this side and this to this side. 1 mu2 times 1 by PC, mu2 times 1 by PI, multiply this with this, mu1 by OP, mu1 by PC. Now mu2 is here, mu2 by PI, and mu2 by PC is here. So and PC is here. Take this term to this side. So on the denominator I have PC which is taken common. So I am left with mu2 minus mu1. Bring this to this side. Uh, uh, is equal to mu2 by pi plus mu1 by OP. Now, what is PC, what is pi, and what is OP? If you look at the diagram, from P to C, from P to C is radius of curvature in the direction of light, that is positive. From P to I is image distance, that is V in the direction of light, that is positive. Then OP is object distance opposite to the direction of light, therefore negative. So mu2 by V minus mu1 by U is equal to mu2 minus mu1 by R. You have to remember like this: refractive index of the second medium divided by image distance V minus refractive index of first medium mu1 divided by object distance is equal to refractive index of second medium minus refractive index of first medium divided by radius of curvature. You have to remember like this.